So students, now we are going to start with our new topic of this chapter, which is crystal field theory. So students, crystal field theory is an electrostatic model which considers the metal ligand bond to be ionic, arising purely from the electrostatic interactions between the metal ion and the ligand. Okay, so students, basically when a ligand moves closer to the metal atom, then for example in case of octahedral complexes, in case of octahedral complex, the central metal atom is surrounded by 6 ligands. Okay, so in that case there is a repulsion between the electrons in the metals of the metal d orbitals and the electrons of the ligand, and because of that repulsion, then the d orbital is directed towards the ligand, and when it is away from the ligand. So in class 11th you had studied that we have 5 d orbitals, that is your dxy, dyz, and dzx, and dx square minus y square, and dz square. Okay, so these were the 5 orbitals which we have studied in class 11th. So students, dx square and y square and dz square orbitals, they point along the axis. Okay, so they are on the axis of the ligand. Okay, so they point in the along the axis of the ligand, and they experience more repulsion, and due to which they will gain more energy. Okay, so they move at higher level because of more repulsion, and dxy, dyz, and dxz, or you can say dzx orbitals, which are between the axis, will be lowered in energy because they will feel a lesser repulsion. Okay, so because of this, the d orbitals are divided into two set, in which and there are three lower energy levels, which are dxy, dyz, and dzx. Okay, dxy, dyz, and dzx. Okay, so these three orbitals form T2G set, which has lower energy, and dx square minus y square and dz square, they form the higher energy level, that is your EG set. Okay, this is what we call EG set. Okay, so this splitting of the degenerate levels is due to the presence of the ligands in a definite geometry, and because of this it is known as the crystal field splitting. Okay, so students, we can understand this through a diagram also. For example, let's see it as the 5 orbitals of the d block, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so this let's take it as the 5 d orbitals. Okay, so after gaining the energy, they will move at higher level due to repulsion, and they will get divided into two sets. Okay, one set will be with 3 orbitals, which is known as the T2G set. Okay, it consists of dx y, dyz, and dzx. Okay, and one set will be of the higher energy level, which will be your EG set with 2 orbitals. Okay, which will be your dx square minus y square and dz square. Okay, so also students, the energy of the 2 orbitals of the 2 EG set orbitals increases by 3 by 5. Okay, and this T2G G set will decrease by 2 by 5 in terms of energy. Okay, so students, basically the crystal field splitting depends on the basic field, electric field produced by the ligand, and also on the charge of the metal ion. So some ligands are able to produce strong fields, or and some produce weak fields. Okay, so there are, on the basis of this, there are two types of field ligands. One is the strong field ligand and the other one is the weak field ligand. Okay, so the ligands can be arranged in the order of increasing field strength, like this. For example, iodine will have the lowest field, then bromine, then SCN negative, then chlorine negative, then sulfur, sulfide, then fluoride, hydroxide, water, ammonia, ethylene diamine, cyano group, and carbonyl. Okay, so this is the series, and this series is also termed as the spectrochemical series. Okay, so this is what is your crystal field theory. So crystal field theory basically works on the interaction of the ligands and the metal central metal atom. Okay, so this crystal field theory depends on the interaction between the two substances and two things, that is the central metal atom and the ligands around it. Okay.